There, welcome back to my channel. So today, I wanted to talk about standing in our personal power and what that looks like and how important it's going to be going forward. Please excuse my state of being today because I seem to be having an activation that is just an ongoing activation, which is more light body expansion. And for those of you that are unsure what that feels like, some of you may be perceiving it as anxiety because it's a constant state of, I guess it's like a were like kind of like energy that's spinning, and it's you're feeling a very strong vibration in your physical vessel, going from your root chakra all the way up to your heart chakra. It's very consistent. It almost feels like a tickle. For some, it could feel like an agitation, depending on where your thought process is. Um, but it's consistent, and it's for me it is such a sense of excitement and so much joy that I can't help but laugh and smile because I'm tuning into these energies that are activating in my field now on more of a daily basis, that are making me feel very joyful and feeling a complete sense of calm and peace. And this is the light body activation that is taking place now. And I know that many of you are feeling this activation in your field. Only difference between what you're perceiving and what I am perceiving is I have never, ever let anybody diagnose what is taking place with me, what I am feeling and what I am perceiving. So if you are perceiving this energy that is in likeness to what I just described as a anxiety attack, where you're getting this tickling in your chest, it feels uncomfortable. It only feels uncomfortable because you're not allowing yourself to sit fully into this experience. But when you do sit in the experience fully, and you feel it and you feel into it and you tune into its fullness, you will see that it's not just in your heart area, it actually runs down the whole chakra pillar, which is actually merging and integrating because it's becoming our light body, and there aren't any more chakras. I don't perceive them anymore, and I haven't for a long time now. But that's what's taking place. So the more we have these activations for light body, the more we're going to feel this sensation within us that is like a buzzing, or it feels like there is this an energy that wants to explode out of us. And if we can sit into it, we will see that it's not just in the heart center, it actually runs right into the root chakra. And then if you really allow yourself to go further, it's in the soles of the feet where the earth star chakra would be. So to go hand in hand with that, we're actually activating another gland, which is between the solar plexus and the sacral chakra, have been for years. This is nothing new, but talked about it in the past, and I figured this is a good time to bring it in now. And that chakra that we're, or gland rather, it's not a chakra, the gland that we're activating between our solar plexus and our sacral area is actually what is creating the bloating in the belly and the swelling. And that gland is just another gland, like the glands that we've been growing in the sides of our neck, which is why everybody's feeling the pain here as we're activating those. And a lot of these glands are necessary for this higher light frequency, especially plasma, which is like, you know, breathing underwater because it's a very viscous type of energy. And I've explained a lot of this going back. I have links below that I share that talk about these different energies and what each one does. I'm going to try to work on revising that blog post that I made over the next couple of weeks to include all of these newer light frequencies for you so that you have a resource to go to. But anyway, I am going through this light body activation that has been like this nonstop, this euphoria that is feeling very light, and so it's because I've done so much work on coming into my own personal state of well-being and not tuning into collectives. Okay, and that's really where we are now. Now, the last video that I did, I talked about how to realize or recognize that you're already on New Earth, right? If you were to do an in-person session with me and come to my house, you would feel it here because the energy is so high here. You would feel it when you come into the house. You would perceive it as we are sitting connecting because there is no noise. It would be very, very quiet, very peaceful, very joyful energy, and very sublime. You would hear maybe the birds chirping, and see butterflies flying by or dragonflies, and that would tell you that we're in a higher timeline, right? That's how we know. But I have really worked very hard on being in my own reality, on my own timeline, and letting go of the lower distortions. Now, let's talk about that for a few seconds, because in the last video that I made, I talked about how to recognize that you are already on a 3D Earth. And I know that a lot of people are still talking about, yes, but Trump is supposed to come back into office, or this is supposed to happen, or we're waiting for this to go away, or we're waiting for that to go away. And I want to tell you that that is an illusion. It's a state of mind. When we shift out of the illusion and we're no longer playing in that box, we can be expansive. We can go into the highest creator states and shift the reality that we're experiencing. In my reality, I don't have any of that. It's not a factor for me. It doesn't play into any of my needs at all. None of them. Okay. And so in not recognizing any of it, I'm not stressed by any of it. I'm not sitting waiting in what? In that old timeline, in that old paradigm of 3D. I'm not sitting there. I'm not waiting. I don't look at it. I don't watch it. The only time it would affect me is if I would sit there and I would watch it, if I would feed into it, if I would stress over it. I don't do that. I stay on my timeline, and my timeline is very joyful. It's filled with amazing co-creation. And so we have to start to focus on other things. We have to start to shift away from there. Now, we also have to realize that there are going to be individuals that are going to play out that timeline because it's what they've come in to choose to do, right? And those people, those individuals that are choosing to play out that timeline are, how about this? Actually ascended souls that have already ascended, that are coming back in to play the contrast so that we could see the light more clearly. How about that? So when you think about that, we have to honor every single person who's playing a role, who's playing a part for us. The individuals that are still wearing the masks, whatever it is for you that's amplifying your state of unrest, let it go. If you're judging them, you're judging yourself, because everything is showing up for you so that you can go deeper. We need to go deeper within, right? It doesn't matter if someone is showing up and they're angry about something that's taking place in the government. Don't feed that fuel, no matter what it is, okay? If you hear something crazy about the vaccine and you took it, don't feed it. Let it go. The more you play into it, the more it's going to affect you. Let it go. It's a narrative. You have a choice. Your body is a magical vessel. Once you start to realize this and start to recognize your own magnificence and your own power, you're going to be like, oh my God, my mind is so blown by knowing my own state of being that I could be this magical and take myself into that next level and not have to play into the distorted narratives that are still carrying out. Why are they carrying out? They're carrying out as a wake up to those that are still unconscious. Okay. This is how this was all orchestrated. This is how it was created. It's as if we're playing in a virtual reality game, and we get to choose in each moment what path we're taking. I remember when I was young playing a board game, a role play game called Dungeons and Dragons with my brother and his friends. And I loved that game because it let me tune into my imagination and it let me create all of these magical characters. I had an elven fighter named Alexi Redwing, and I had a magic user that was also a half elf, half human named Tamara Cameron. I can't believe I remember these names, but they were significant to me at the time. And I was able to daydream. I was able to dream into all of that and role play. And because I was able to daydream and role play, it's helping me now daydream and role play into the higher timelines and not feed those lower level narratives. One of the most important things is to ask, is this true for me? Do I believe this? And if you do believe it, well, then that's okay. That is the path that you're choosing. But if you're like me, let me take this up a step. If you're tuning into me, if you are subscribed to this channel, if you follow me on Instagram, if you follow me on Twitter, if you're in my class, if you are in tune with the things that I am saying, with the transmissions that are coming through me, through higher self, through the source within me, then you are like me. And you do not need to take any of that lower level distortion in. We are choosing the higher timeline. We are choosing to have the activation of the Kundalini as opposed to having what we would perceive as anxiety. It's both the same energy. Anxiety and excitement are both the same energy. Which do you choose? This is what I'm asking you. Everything is a choice. We don't have to follow the masses anymore. We don't have to sit in that box. That is the old paradigm of how we used to do things. We get to be magical, magnificent creators. We get to role play now and decide what reality we want to be in. So what? We don't see the unicorns and we don't see the fairies sitting down in the chair right across from me to have a conversation. We don't have to see it that way. We could see it outside. And if we don't see it outside, we could see it in our mind's eye and we could just know it's there and we could feel it when we tune into the excitement that's in our body. Because that excitement is what's going to keep activating our light body. It's what's going to keep bringing us into a higher frequency. Remember, New Earth is not going anywhere to anything. New Earth is here already. New Earth is within each one of us. It's not a place to go. It's how we are choosing to interact in our day-to-day experience in our reality. We can either be magical co-creators or we could be in a state of stress. So most of you know I haven't made a lot of videos the last couple of weeks because I've been working on projects that are going to bring my work into the next level to help amplify everything for all of you. And those of you that are going to choose to participate in that with me are going to feel the excitement in the collective community that I've already been building that is now going to open to the public soon. And as soon as that's ready and I have more information on that to give you, I will, because it's coming in the next week. And it's very exciting to me because this has been my passion to help everybody navigate to their highest state of being. So when I tune into these higher frequencies and I share them here and I bring them through here, I do it when I can do it. I'm in flow with my universe. I can never put myself on a schedule and say I'm going to do it tomorrow, or I'm going to do it the next day, or I'm going to do it a week from now, because that's not being in flow with my universe, with my reality. That just puts pressure on me. And then when I put pressure on myself to do that, I can't create. And I can't bring the information through for you that is most important for you now. Because when I am bringing information through, the transmission is based on the collective consciousness of every single one of you that are tuning into this, no matter when you are tuning into this. If you're tuning in right at the moment that I post the video, or if you're tuning in a year or 10 years out from that, it doesn't matter, because whatever it is going to be what you're needing in that moment that you're watching that video. That's how this works. And so all of us have this ability within us, this innate ability to be able to be these magical co-creators, to flow with our universe in whatever way that is desirable for us to do. For me, it's choosing to acknowledge what's taking place within me, this excitement that I'm feeling, this Kundalini activation that I'm feeling, as a Kundalini activation and not as anxiety. I've never known myself to have anxiety, and would never, now knowing what I know, never choose to have anxiety. So if we could flip that for just a second and say, as a creator being, I could label it anxiety, or I could label it excitement, and my light body is activating. And that activation is actually taking me into the next highest state of being, into the next highest state of my own co-creation with my universe. Doesn't that sound divine in itself? Isn't that where you want to be? That's where I want to be. And I think that an awareness, a state of knowing, is very helpful, which is why I'm sharing this in this video with you today, because I had time after my session work and I heard, get on there, go give this information out, because it's needed out there in the collective to help anyone who wants to have help navigate, shift into their highest, best state that they can in this now moment. Okay. So this is how we stand in our personal power. It's about not letting anybody else pull us out of our personal power. If you were to say to me, hey, Maria, I would love to connect with you and hang out with you, take you to lunch, or let you take me to lunch, right? Whatever way. Let's plan a day. It would be hard for me to do that, because I never know how my day is going to be, because I'm in creative flow. But if you said to me, hey, how does your schedule look later today for an opportunity for us to get together? That could probably work, because I know if it's meant to be, my day will clear out and disperse everything that was in the pathway for us to meet. If you said, how about tomorrow? Tomorrow would be doable too, as long as my schedule is clear, and then I could block the rest of it out. I'm always in flow. I don't like to be on a schedule anymore with anything, because that does not work in a 5D state of being. One thing I want to say before I end this transmission is that we're vacillating in frequencies between 5D and 9D consciousness. Yeah, 9D consciousness, okay? It's up to us to play this game the right way, to choose where we're going to be at the end of the day. Are we going to be co-creating in our power, standing in our power, co-creating from these higher states of being, in these higher frequencies, regardless of what is playing out around us, regardless of what anybody thinks about us, regardless of what anybody else is doing or doing to us, right? Nobody is doing anything to us. Everything is happening for us in divine time so that we can shift this. It's always going to be about us. It's always going to come back to us needing to stand in our power and do the right thing for ourselves. Stop looking out there, start looking in here. Don't pay attention to what's going on out there. Once you stop paying attention to what goes on out there, it goes away. Believe it or not, it goes away. It does. I'm not lying. Anybody, listen, for those of you that have taken my classes that know this to be the truth, please drop a comment below. For those that are still not sure that it's okay to do that, or still don't feel safe in letting go of out there, and show them how easy it is when we're not looking out there for anything, how easy it is for us to shift our reality. It can happen just like that. But we have to believe that we can do that. It's so powerful when we are ready to create with our universe as a co-creator, bringing through our own divine magic. Okay? So if you're not following me on Instagram, please check me out there. I post a lot of content there, and I'm not yet at 1,000 subscribers here. I am excited because I hit 666. And for me, that's a magical number because the vibration of 6 is about love. Let's let go of the other stuff that you think it represents. It does not. That's a story. That's an old story. It doesn't even have any relevance in the higher timelines. It does not even exist. 6 is the vibration of love. It's harmony, it's communication, it's family. It's just yummy energy. So thank you to those of you who have subscribed to my channel and gave me the pleasure of seeing that I am at 666 today. I am going to celebrate that, and I am continuing to send all of you so much love and gratitude and appreciation for supporting the work that I do, for taking this information in and utilizing it in your day-to-day experience so that you can have a better experience. And at the end of the day, we can all collectively shift this reality a lot faster. So have a magical, wonderful, whatever it is that you're doing, and know that I love you so incredibly much. I will see you back here soon.